One day. Now one day might kill herself in the eye. One day. Mom.
Alright guys, Thursday afternoon. It's pretty late in the day actually. I didn't have a whole lot going on today. Here comes my daughter on her bike. And actually really what I'm doing today is exactly the same thing that I did yesterday. So I didn't really know how I was going to make a vlog out of it. So, but I got a couple things to talk about. So here we go. First off, if you live in the northwestern Pennsylvania area and you have an electronic device that is broken, check out Fixed Already in Meadville, Pennsylvania. These guys are awesome. As you know, my phone screen was recently broken. I ordered a new screen and I ended up fixing it. But, so I'm filming everything on an iPhone 7, and the last phone that I had repaired myself was a 6, I think. But anyways, they made some changes. Apple made some changes from the iPhone 6 to the iPhone 7, and there are some new screws in there. They're these like tri-point screws, and the screen that I ordered came with a toolkit. However, the toolkit did not have this tri-point screwdriver in it. I don't know how you're going to sell a toolkit with a product and not have the right tools in it, but whatever. Anyways, I called Fixed Already. Actually, I messaged them on Facebook because I didn't have a phone, and I asked them, I said, hey, is there any way I might be able to come into your store and use your tri-point screwdriver to fix my phone? I don't have one and I need one. And they were totally cool. They said, yeah, absolutely, come on in. And, you know, I had a little bit of a conversation with the guy who owns the joint while I was in there. And, hey, baby. If you have any sort of device electronic repair needs and you're in northwestern Pennsylvania, go check them out. They didn't repair my device, I repaired it, but they let me use their tools to do it. And the guy seemed very knowledgeable, very nice people. Go check them out. Really, really good people. Alright, next up, since I felt like the vlog today was going to be kind of boring, I asked on Instagram if anybody had anything they wanted me to talk about. A little story action maybe, a little my opinions on things like that. And I got an interesting question. I was asked, why did you join the Army? And I'm really sorry, I don't remember who asked me, but I'll put it on the bottom of the screen so you can go check them out on Instagram. My daughter, I feel like she's making so much noise. The reason I joined the Army is very, very simple. I wanted to go to college and I didn't have a way to pay for it. I joined the Army. Growing up, I had a very solid middle-class upbringing, but in that, my parents didn't make enough money to like save a whole lot of money for me to go to college, but they also made too much money for me to qualify for like financial aid. So I needed to come up with a way to do it on my own. Honey, please don't ride your bike into my shop. Ride it out there because I'm trying to film a video, okay? Please?
Sometimes I like to practice out there into the shop.
Sometimes you like to ride from the driveway into my shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Can that be a different time?
No.
No. I feel like this will be highly edited, and I apologize. So anyways, that honestly is the long and short of it. I just needed a way to go to college, and that's ultimately what I wanted to do. However, after joining the Army and doing that for a while, I had planned on making a career out of it. I enjoyed it. I was in the infantry. My MOS was 11 Bravo. It was our job to fight. Like that's what we did. I liked it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I was going to make a career out of it, and then I got hurt. And I had a young son at the time, relatively newly married, and, you know, we decided that maybe I should stick around for a while, and if I was going to make the military a career, then maybe the infantry wasn't the way to go, but I didn't want to do anything else. So when my contract ended, I got out. Honestly, that's what it came down to. I just needed a way to go to college. But I will tell you this, the benefits from being in the military are huge. It's opened a ton of doors for me professionally and personally since I ETS'd from the military. And it's not a decision to be taken lightly by any means. But if it's something you're interested in doing, talk to people who have been in the military, talk to people who have experienced it, and make a little bit of a more informed decision, because there are some mental and emotional things that aren't necessarily explained well. I mean, certainly that's an individual thing, right? Like, you know, the stuff that you do, especially in the infantry, will impact people differently from person to person. But, you know, I don't discourage it, but if it's something you're interested in doing, talk to people who have done it, make an informed decision. That's all I have to say about that. All right, and finally, real quick, my uncle. He has a project going on. He lives down in Maryland, close to where I used to live. He's got some stools that he's putting together, or he did put together, or he needs to assemble or something, and he's got some dowels to trim flush. I'm going to send him some tools. I'm going to send him a real sharp chisel, because, you know, when you're flush trimming dowels, you're doing end grain, and you need to have extremely sharp tools to do that. And just real quick, I'm going to demonstrate how to do that so that my uncle can hopefully not mess up the pre-finished surfaces on his stools. But I don't have any dowels, so I'm going to have to make one real quick. Let's go do that. Alright guys, so here is my dowel. It's not perfect, but it will work for this very simple demonstration. Let's drill a hole in a piece of wood, stick this in there, and I'll show you how to flush trim it. Alright, so let's assume this is the leg of your stool, this is the dowel that's sticking out. First thing you want to do is put some blue painter's tape all around your dowel. Alright, once you got your painter's tape all around there, that's going to protect the finish that's around your dowel, okay? Let me readjust this. Alright, once you've got your painter's tape on there, we're imagining that this is the leg of your stool, this is the dowel that's sticking out. You're going to take a flush trim saw. I'm going to send this to you along with the chisel. And you're going to hold the plate of the saw up flush against that painter's tape, and it cuts on the pull stroke, so when you pull back is when it cuts. And you're going to cut flush with that tape until your dowel's gone. That's going to protect the finish that's on there. Then we're going to remove the tape, and the only thing that should be left is a little tiny bit of that dowel, which will be the thickness of the tape, and we're going to chisel that off. Now, I keep all of my chisels extraordinarily sharp, and you need a very sharp chisel for this because you're paring end grain, and end grain is extremely difficult to pare without a sharp chisel. The softer the wood, the harder it is, because the wood just wants to crush, it doesn't want to cut. And I don't know what kind of wood this dowel is, but anytime I use my chisels, I always touch them up just to be safe, and that's what I'm going to do right here on my workshop. I'm just going to strop it, make sure I have a nice mirror polish, and then we'll go and trim that guy. So I always like to say, how do you, how can you spot a woodworker, like out in the wild? Look for the bald spots on their non-dominant arm, because that's how they test the sharpness of their tools. You can see, even before that, yeah, like right there, got a nice bald spot. It's sharp. Let's pair this. Okay, so it's hard to see in this example, but the grain in the dowel runs this way. It's the same way as the grain on the wood, And that's the way you're going to want to pare, because if you go this way, when the grain is running this way, it's just a little bit more difficult. But if you go this way, put some pressure on your chisel so it's flat on the piece that you want to flush up against, and just slice away at it. That's all you need to do. That is flush. And it's all because we had a very, very sharp chisel. And that's how you do it. Alright guys, I know this vlog's a little bit different than usual. You know, usually I'm not talking about other companies and things, but Fixed Already, great company, love them. If you're local to me and you need some sort of electronic device repaired, go check them out. They do everything, and they're real nice guys. So go check that out. Uncle Pud, I hope this helps. I'm gonna send you the chisel that I just used in this, as well as a flush trim saw so you can trim your stuff up. And the chisels that you bought, next time you're up here visiting, bring them. I'll sharpen them up for you because they're not sharp. You might think that they are, but they're not. They're never sharp from the store. I'm sorry, they're just not. I'll bring them up, I'll sharpen them for you, and you know, in 10 years when you need them again, they'll still be sharp. Alright, that's it guys. I hope you found something I talked about today informative. If not, you know, Monday will be a different day. Right? Alright guys, see you Monday.